Hey guys, we're here at Salute to Supernatural, the Supernatural Con happening at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, and we're here with Taxi Cass. And she's got a little surprise for you guys, but we're going to turn it around and let her introduce herself and what she does.
And her friends.
Okay, so I got you two on, I got just you.
Yeah. So I'm the Supernatural Squirrel Girl, the only Supernatural Squirrel Girl. I have made these guys.
Here we go.
Now, can you go down the line and tell us each of their names?
Okay, so we've got three Dean Squirrel Chesters. So this is FBI Dean Squirrel Chester, regular Dean Squirrel Chester. This is Dean Squirrel Chester #1. This is the original. This is the one that started it all.
Go. Oh, we're back.
This is Scrowly, Squirrel Stiel. This is Squeamin, a Squirrel Demon. This is a Hell Squirrel, or a Hellhound.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can tell by the red eyes. He
Okay,
looks pretty scary.
And the teeth.
Yes.
So these are all real squirrels.
Yeah.
So tell us how you
Acquire.
How did you acquire these squirrels?
9.5 out of 10 times these are actually sourced from roadkill. I have a permit to pick up in the state of Maryland to collect roadkill for taxidermy purposes.
So there's a permit you can actually.
Yeah, it's called a scientific collector's permit. You have to have it, or else you could actually face criminal charges through Department of Natural Resources.
Okay.
Each state is very different, but a lot of people don't know in the states, it's actually illegal to pick up roadkill. You need permission from DNR to do it.
Now, how do you keep yourself, I guess, safe from, I don't know, germs or anything? Like if they, do you know what I mean? Like I'm assuming you pick it up with gloves. And
no, actually, I use like a scoop bag, like you would do with dog crap. But I see a squirrel on the side of the road or wherever. I pull the car over. I put my hazards on.
Okay.
I always check. There's several different factors you need in order to pick one up. One, does it look fresh? So if it's got like bugs on it, or if it looks dry or stiff, don't pick it up.
So you need a fresh squirrel.
You need fresh. You also need I don't want to get really gross details, but you need make sure if it's fresh and oozy, then you got, and if it's warm,
it's good.
But also needs to be floppy, so you can just jiggle it around.
Okay.
And, it's loose.
So
That's good.
And then it's easier to maneuver.
Yeah, and then you have to take, because if it's fresher, then it will last longer and it's not going to rot. So if you got all those characteristics, you take it home in a bag, and then I live in a very rural area of Maryland, so I just pick it up and try it on the way home, and then take it and put it in my taxidermy freezer.
So you freeze it first.
You have to freeze it first to kill anything in there, and also to solidify everything, so that way it's easier to skin. Because I've seen some messed up squirrels.
Okay.
Some really messed up squirrels.
So before you freeze them, do you have to maneuver them into the position you want them to? No? It's once they're frozen, they're still movable?
Yeah, once they're frozen, you can then you thaw them out, and then when they're thawed out, you can start the whole skinning process.
Okay. What? Wait, what?
You have to skin. These are really taxidermy. You have to skin them, and then for these guys right here, these are all in something called a hard form.
Okay.
Hard mount. And then these ones are soft mounts, which means that only a head is filled with foam or styrofoam or something like that. So these don't look as concrete as these guys, but you can buy taxidermy forms from, I go from Van Dyke's Taxidermy Supply. That's where I got their eyes from as well, except this one. His eyes are just beads because I was doing him
So tell us about why you started doing this.
Back in May last year, I was talking to this guy who was part of the cult of Cthulhu, and he was saying, people really like it judges really like it when you get original. So these wings on my back, so I'm just going to show you the harness. So this is a harness. These are real turkey wings that I skinned and dried.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
I love the authenticity of it.
So these came first, and then I had an epiphany one June back in last year. I was like, let's make Dean a squirrel. I've got squirrels in my freezer. Let's make him. So I did, and then I took him with me to DC Con last year, my first, and such a hit. I have the original cast, but the original cast is so beaten up and broken that I actually retired him. He was also autographed too, so it really. But he had like little wings on his back from a sparrow.
How many do you have that are retired?
Just one.
Oh,
This
okay.
one's about to this one should be retired, but I wanted him with me one last time. He's signed by Mark Shepard, actually.
Very cool.
And then this one, the original Sam, the new cast, and the original Sam and Dean, they're gonna get signed too, and then they're gonna be those two are gonna be retired. And then this one's gonna come with me wherever because it's gonna be underneath the clothes. So these three at the end of the day will be still in use, and then these three right here, the one on the two Deans and the new Sam with the book, those are going to get autographed and then they're going to be sold because I actually got approval to table at some Southern Maryland and Annapolis Comic Con in the fall.
Wow, that's
great. And then I want to make more of these and then table at New Jersey Supernatural Con, but not with the autograph ones because there's rules and you can't have anything with like faces or autographs from the actors. So
okay. So you have a store, you said?
Yes, I
do.
do.
Do you sell just whatever you have, already made, or do you actually take any requests?
I've had one person take a request, but they never paid for it, and they made me tear about $100 worth out of my pocket, and they never paid for it, and so I don't take unless
they pay ahead of time. That's the smart one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But one person actually wants me to make him a Pittsburgh Steelers squirrel.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I just need to get a hold of him again. But my shop, so I make jewelry and taxidermy based off, so one example would be a hellhound necklace where it's got real metaphysical Hoover dust or cross roaster, and then be a tooth and or a claw from coyote, and then pentacle. I've also got jewelry that there's squirrel paws, but they've been dipped in glass glitter, green glass glitter, and then they're stuck on a necklace, and it's like a pendant. So it's Dean. I've also made bees, carpenter bees, and they've been dipped in glitter, and then they're put in little vials.
Very neat. Now, where can somebody see this stuff? Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's Odds and Unevens on Etsy.
Okay.
If you,
the next one is going to be present.
Odds and Unevens on Etsy,
and
that's where you can also possibly check out some of the squirrels you have for sale.
Yeah, you can do that, but if you want to, I don't know how to exactly, I don't understand Etsy all the time. So if you really want something and you really, really want it, I actually have social media networks too. So I go by TaxiCast and the Supernatural Squirrels. I get recognized off the street sometimes.
Yeah.
It's that. This is so big.
Yeah.
And then these are some of the photos that I've had taken with some of the actors from 2016 DC Con.
Wow. That's very cool.
I made such an impact that this Misha Collins photo op was talked about at GibCon in Italy this year.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and but I will admit I do get hate from people from this. I think though a lot of what's going on might be jealousy related because this is a completely interesting, one of a kind concept. I mean, the joke of the show. Why squirrels? Okay, there's a joke on the show by Crowley. This one, Crowley calls Sam and Dean Moose and Squirrel as from Rocky and Bull. So I just was make a Dean Squirrel, make that funny. And then I made Castiel, and then I made Sam and Crowley, and then I made a demon and a hellhound, and they loved it. They absolutely loved this. I scared Mary Winchester though. I will admit I did scare Samantha Smith, but that wasn't my intention. I was super excited, and she just got freaked out.
Yeah.
It's whatever, I make these after the 3 new Dean and Sam squirrels. They're gonna be $200, but a hellhound like this will be $125 online.
Okay.
I do naked squirrels, and there's $70 minimum, but then I also do clothes squirrels, and those will start at the $125 minimum.
And so you sew the clothes and everything?
Everything on these guys is hand stitched.
Wow.
Dean is like really tattered though. His clothes are being held together by safety pins. But like I said, he's a year old.
Yeah.
He's a year old.
And he's been traveling with you in a suitcase. And,
or
in your hand.
Or, in my hand. Yeah. So he's like old, sweaty, and everything.
They're getting a lot of action.
How long does it take you to make a squirrel?
Okay, this is the trickiest part. So I've been working with new tanning techniques before. So like these guys, this one, they'd be tanned through soap and water wash with borax mixed into it. And then you stick pins into them and you get them to dry a certain way, and you have to hairbrush them and dry them out. And then those will take about a couple weeks. The new tanning technique I'm doing is denatured alcohol, which is a type of paint thinner, but it tans and hardens the skin really quick. Okay. So these ones and then this one were tanned with denatured alcohol, and they take about like, instead of taking several weeks, it takes about 2 weeks. Instead of a month, it takes like 2 weeks.
So did
for them to be prepped,
But
and then
no,
you can.
well, okay, for them to be prepped, it takes about a week, maybe 3 days. Like 3 days to thaw, or 2.5 basically, and then you have to skin them, and that takes about like my quickest time is like going on about 32 minutes for one squirrel, and then like from beginning to end. That's how fast this is going. I've been doing this since 2013 actually.
Wow.
My first squirrel was an all black squirrel, but not this one. She's actually on like a mount, and she's like holding an acorn with some plants behind her. But she does not look as good as these guys.
Yeah. So ultimately, it could be about a month.
3 weeks.
Wow.
So, but also it might take 2 weeks, especially if it's like I'm like stitching them from they're natured alcohol, about a week, and then it takes like I gotta think of the concepts,
right?
The props, everything. So they're made from scratch essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do this for a hobby, and I want to make a real job out of this. And that's my dream, is to quit my grocery store job and be able to do this full time.
Well, you've been doing an amazing job, and I can honestly say that I personally have never seen anything like this. Have you?
Nope.
This is Supernatural Squirrels taxidermy. You have Taxi Cass, right?
Yeah, well, my real name actually is
Kendall. But she is known as the taxidermist for Supernatural all over the place.
I'm the Squirrel Girl.
The Squirrel Girl, Supernatural Squirrel Girl. And she's going to be famous because we're interviewing her. And she's going to be known throughout all the Supernatural cons.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
All right, if you want to learn more about Taxi Cass, you can rewind this video a little bit and take a look at her card. You'll find all of her social networks, her website, and everything, or you can come to Salute to Supernatural down here at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center and take a look for yourself.